What is up, guys? This is Nightmare, and today I have a new build video for you all. This is my first build in Monster Hunter World. This build is going to focus on the most unique weapon in the game, the Fire and Ice Dual Blades. When I first saw these weapons, I knew right away which build I wanted to run on them, and it works perfectly. This build is a lot of fun, and it provides insane DPS. So, let's get started. Alright guys, so let's get started with the gear I am using with the Blast and Ice build. The weapon that makes this build what it is the Fire and Ice Dual Blades, like I said. These blades are one of the strongest dual-wield blades you can get, in my opinion. Just this one and one other one, which I'll make a comparison on later, which are the top-of-the-line dual-wield blades that you should be running at any game. They're rarity 8, so they're really good. They give you 252 attack. You have a pretty good sized blue sharpness and a very large sized green sharpness. I never really find myself having to resharpen my weapons in the middle of a fight, because blue lasts for so long, and then very rarely do I need to resharpen to blue if it ever does go to green. Moving down, we have Affinity, which is the crit in this game, which is sitting at 10%. So although our attack is a little bit lower, we're making up for it with the 10% extra crit chance, which is very nice. Also, our elements. This is what makes this weapon so strong. We are getting 240 ice damage on top of 240 blast damage. There's no other weapon in this game that is going to offer you ice and blast damage on the same weapon. And finally, we have a 2 slot for decorations on this weapon. Very good. Moving on down, we are going to be running 3 pieces of Zora Magnus armor with 2 pieces of Rathalos. So, for my helmet, I am wearing Zora Magnus A, and this is going to give me Handicraft level 1 and 1 level of Blast. Moving down, I'm going to move down to, let's see. Yes, Rathalos Male B. This is going to give us level 2 weakness exploit, So that crit chance is going to be really good. As you can see, weakness exploit is going to give us 30% extra affinity, and later on, once you get a decoration for another level 1 weakness exploit, you can upgrade this to level 3, which will give you a total of 50% increased affinity when attacking weak spots. Very good combination with the 3-piece Zoras and 2-piece Rathalos. Whenever you land those crits, you're going to be increasing your elemental damage and abnormal status effect. So the whole point is you have ice damage, which is covered by Rathalos, and you have blast damage, which is covered by Zoras. Whenever you land crits, it's going to increase that damage output. And these two just line up perfectly. 2 pieces for this and 3 pieces for Rathalos or for Zoras. Moving on, we have our second Rathalos piece, which is going to be Rathalos A. This is the gloves. It's going to give us a little bit more fire resistance, which I find to be very nice. As you can see, we sit at very, very high fire resistance, although our other resistance is a lot lower. But that really high really high fire resistance is really nice. Also, we get an attack boost level 1. It's going to help increase our damage output. Next, we have Zora's B for the waist. So this is just a filler. That Fortify skill is pretty nice. As you can see, we're getting increased attack damage by 10% and increased defense by 15% if you ever fall in battle. And this effect can stack twice. So if you die twice, your last go, if you have a quest that is letting you be carded 3 times, you could have 20% increased attack damage and 30% increased defense. So if you're struggling in a quest, this is going to help make it easier for you. And then lastly, we have Zora's Legs B, which is going to give us Bombardier. This is going to pretty much just increase our explosive damage. Now, this is not blast damage. Explosive damage and blast damage are 2 different things. The explosive damage are like your barrel bombs, stuff like that. So I make sure I always carry around the big barrels, the biggest explosion barrels. For that 20% extra damage on those, you're going to sleep bomb them every time the monster run away from you, goes to sleep. You just place those barrels and blow them up in their face. Very nice. For the charm, I'm running a level 3 attack charm. So with that other piece on our body, that level 1 on our body, on the gloves, with a level 3 on our charm, we will have a total of level 4 attack boost for 12 extra attack damage and a nice 5% extra affinity. This is making us have 15 affinity without hitting weak spots, and then 45 attacking weak spots. Eventually we will be able to have 55, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. 65, excuse me. 65% crit chance when we have level 3 weakness exploit. Taking a look at the equipment I am using, right now I'm just using Bandit Mantle. I like this because it allows you to get better drops from monsters, which you can turn into sell to just make a little bit better currency. It's really going to help you out early game. And then I'm also using the health booster. Eventually I would like to get the affinity booster. I'm working on getting that now, and that's going to give you even higher crit chance when you're staying in the cloud of the affinity booster. And then it will last for a minute once you leave the affinity booster. So that's going to help increase our damage a lot more. For right now, I'm just using the health booster. So that's pretty much going to cover the builds. Now I'm going to compare the Fire and Ice dual wield blades to 2 other blades, and I will explain why I feel like the Fire and Ice blades are stronger. Alright, so I am in the smithy checking out the comparison for the Fire and Ice blades, and I'm going to be comparing them to 2 other competitors for dual wield blades. First off, I want to take a look at the Zora's blades. These also provide blast, so you're losing out on the ice damage first off. Now, the good thing about the Zora Magnus blades is that it offers the highest attack at 308. However, the other downsides of the Magnus blades is just way too much, and I don't think the pros outweigh the cons for the Zora's blades. As you can see, I'm pretty sure this has to be awakened first, which I'm wearing 1 piece of awakening anyways. It's just on there for the set armor pieces. So you have to first awaken the blades. The blast damage is lower, and as you can see there, minus 20 affinity. I just don't think that's really good. I don't like negative affinity on weapons, unless you're going to either even it out somehow, or not worry about affinity and just go for raw damage. But I feel like crit chance is really good in this game right now. Also, as you can see, we have some blue sharpness, which is really nice. The Zora blades do not. They only go to green. So next up we have the Xeno blades. I'm going to throw this in real quick just because it's right here. Xeno blades are also really good. Just not going to work with this build. These are really strong blades also. They have a lot lower attack damage, but you have white sharpness, 5% extra crit chance, dragon damage, and elder steel, but those 2 level 3 slots for gems is really, really nice. I'm just not using them right now because it doesn't fit with this build that I wanted to use the double element Ice and Blast. So moving on to the next competitor of the Fire and Ice dual wield blades is going to be all the way up at the top. This is the Nergigante blades. These are also really, really strong, very high attack damage at 294. As you can see there, you have a full sharpness bar, a really high blue sharpness level. Green's a little bit smaller, but it's a very large sharpness bar. So what we're losing out here is you're getting a little bit of extra attack damage, but you're losing the 10% affinity. And then, of course, this only has dragon damage. The Fire and Ice blades have ice and blast. This is high elder steel with a single 1 gem slot. Fire and Ice has a single level 2 slot. So Fire and Ice just is an amazing, amazing dual wield blade you can use. And I feel like this setup that you can run with your armor is going to increase the DPS for the Fire and Ice dual wield blades the most. Alright, next up I'm going to show you my decorations I have set on this build for now. This is not optimal, and I'm still looking for a couple of other pieces that will make this build even stronger. So first off, we have a level 1 slider jewel. This is a 2 slot. This is going to give us 30% increased infinity for a short time. Originally I thought it was going to be closer to a minute. Turns out it's a very, very short time, closer to like 10 to 15 seconds. but that very short duration of 30% infinity is going to be very nice if you slide in and do a combo for your dual wield blades. So slider isn't really bad, but eventually I would like to replace this with my level 3 weakness exploit. Next up I have a frost jewel. This is filling my level 1 slot, or my 1 slot on my chest. So this is going to give me a single blast, as you can see here, once I find it. So a level 1 blast attack and then a level 1 ice attack, just to kind of even it out. And then I have 2 slots. This is going to be my wind resistant jewel. Again, this isn't best in slot, but it's a placeholder for now. And then flight jewel. It's actually not that bad for dual wield blades because you have a very nice aerial attack with dual wield blades. So you're going to get 10% extra attack power with your jumping attacks. And dual wield, like I said, does have that fairly nice aerial like spin attack that you can do in the air. So that's going to cover the jewels or the decorations. Like I said, they are not best in slot, and I would recommend switching them around how you see fit. This is just how I'm running it now. And ideally you would want to get your level 3 weakness exploit, possibly a level 3 bombardier. More into attack bonus is always good. And that would pretty much cover the decorations. Focus on getting that level 3 weakness exploit and you're set for this build. So that's going to cover my decorations. Alright guys, I am in the practice area. I just want to show you guys some simple combos you can do for the dual wield blades. I'm sure if you come from dual wield blades before, you already know a majority of the combos and stuff like that. However, if this is your first time doing dual wield blades, I would highly suggest watching this part, and I also recommend you going into the practice area yourself if it is your first time. So first off, you have your basic combo, which out of demon mode, which is just going to be mashing your triangle pretty much, and that looks like this. That's your basic combo, very short, outside of demon mode. If you're starting from a little bit further back, you need to get to the target quicker, you can press your circle, which is going to be kind of a gap closer. Still trying to get used to it myself. It's a little bit shorter range than normal, but as you can see, it just gives you a little bit of extra way to get closer to the target. So next up, we're going to start talking about demon mode. Now what demon mode does is it drains your stamina bar to 0 as long as you're in it. However, the attacks in demon mode are very strong. So going into demon mode, first off I just want to show the dodge. The dodging in demon mode is a lot quicker, but your stamina will drain very, very quickly. Right now I'm not using any food, so the stamina is going to drain a lot quicker. But in demon mode again, you have your same basic attack of mashing triangle, a little bit more hits, a lot more damage, and that's the gap closer in demon mode. As you can see, it does a lot more. Also lets you travel a little bit further. I'm going to show that again real quick. So in demon mode, gap closer, very nice. And I'm going to go out of demon mode one last time and show you the high damage combo for dual wield blades. It is in demon mode, and you're going to combo triangle and circle together for blade dance. And that is this. Very, very high damage. One of the highest damage combos in the game. Show it to you one more last time. And unfortunately, I'm not getting any blast procs right now, but when blast does go off, it'll blow up for 120 damage. Okay, so now I want to explain something that is happening right now. As you can see, my swords are still glowing, and the meter, that red meter right below my health and stamina bar, is slowly moving down. Right now, I am in Archdemon mode. Now, what Archdemon mode is when you completely fill up that red bar. When you fill it up in demon mode, it has to be full. After you completely drain your stamina to 0, you reach Archdemon mode. And that is, you don't have to be in demon mode, so your stamina isn't going to drain, but you're still doing very high damage just like you're in demon mode. So that's the combo there. And you can also still perform the Demon Flurry attack, which looks like that. It's a lot shorter, a little bit less damage, but like I said, your stamina isn't being drained. And I'm outside of demon mode now. I can no longer do that attack. So one last time, I'm going to go into Archdemon mode and show that off to you guys. As you can see there, that red bar is slowly going up. It is full now. Now my stamina is going to completely drain to 0. Right there. Archdemon mode activated. I can now perform Demon Flurry outside of demon mode. That is triangle and circle. It looks like this. So a little bit higher damage output. And every time you do attack with it, your Archdemon bar is going to slowly go down. So eventually I will probably put out another video explaining Archdemon mode and a little bit higher in depth. But for now, that is the basic rundown for Dual Blades combos. Okay, so finishing up this build, I'm going to talk about another very important part of the build. This is the canteen and the food that you should be using in the canteen. So instead of selecting whatever food you would usually get, just randomly generated foods, I'm going to show you a custom meal that is going to increase your DPS by quite a bit. So first off, as you can see here, these blue or these purplish looking skill line for foods, the 2 pieces of it is going to half the duration of durations of defensive downs and speeds up blight recovery. 4 types of this food increases health recovery, and what we are looking for is the 6 pieces, which is going to increase the abnormal status effect attacks, the potency of it, so it'll happen more often with higher damage. And this is talking about blasts. The abnormal status effect is going to be the blast damage. So we want 6 pieces of this purple type of food. Right now I don't have the 6 for attack. So you can see here it's separated into 4 different groups. You have your meats, which is attack, your fish, which is defense, veggies, which is going to be elemental resistance, and then your drinks, which is more like utility for like farming and stuff like that. So since I don't have 6 in attack or meat for the purple, I'm going to go take 4 of these. Doesn't matter which 4. There we go. And then I'm going to take 2 from the fish to get a small bonus for defense. Seen here. So now I have a medium attack bonus, which is being brought to me by 4 pieces of meat, a small defensive bonus, which is 2 fish, and I'm getting the feline specialist, seen here, which is going to increase the potency of my status effect, abnormal status effect, excuse me, which is our blast damage. We're also getting 10 health and 50 stamina, and I will explain to you how we can increase our health to full. So we're going to take that food. As you can see here, my health is at 110, stamina is at 150, and I'm going to show you, well, I can't eat the food now, but I will show you which item you can use to increase your health and stamina further. So Ancient Potion is going to maximize the health and stamina gauges, or you can use the Max Health Potion, which is a little bit easier and cheaper to get, which will also increase your max health. Also remember to bring your 2 Mega Barrels with you, since you are running 2 points into the Explosive Power, I believe is what it's called. Bombardier, excuse me. So 20% extra explosive power. So make sure you bring those Mega Barrels around and sleep bomb your monsters. So that's pretty much going to cover up the builds. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content. Really helps build my channel, encourages me to put out more builds. Currently I have 2 more builds planned, but there are plenty more to come. So I will see you all next time.